Today our
Oh,
topic is getting opportunities in the world of AI and introducing our speaker. Welcome Mo. And now the session is
hello.
yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, hey everyone, thank you for joining in. And first of all, kudos to everyone. We have completed around like 33% of the year, right? Already 33% of the year is over, and we are rolling and we are learning so many things. I think today is the day 7, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of learning every day something new from a lot of different expertise from different domains. And today we'll be discussing about how to find opportunities in the field of AI. So that's me again. Yeah. So that's again Ghibli art. So I was trying out some Ghibli art analysis. Okay, so before going forward, you see that image below, like where you are talking about this data, tech, and business and opportunities. So many of you might be having curiosities like, hey, how to find opportunities in this world where AI is growing so rapidly, correct? So before going that, I would love to know about you guys as well. Yeah, can you scan this QR code? Like, just join the Slido. Yeah, and let me share my Slido screen.
Yeah, you can share. You can share.
I hope you're able to see the screen, the entire screen, right? So the first question, I would love to know, like, how are you guys feeling today, like about the event, and
One
uh,
response good.
yeah. Okay, we got a good
Good.
response. We have one participant joining. Others free feel to join in. Yeah, would love to hear you out. Good, great, nice.
Six join. I'm feeling new.
So they're already feeling
Scan
good.
that QR, like scan that QR and join that. So you will be giving the response and the screen will be displaying your response.
Superb,
Super.
nice.
You would.
Okay, like another curious question that I have, like which year are you in right now? Taylor, nice. Which year, like your first year, second year, third year? You can also mention that, like which year you're in right now. Would love to know.
Two participants are typing. Dull.
India. Okay,
Steered.
I'm entering a new world. Nice. Someone is feeling dull as well. Don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll find some solution to yours. Okay, third year, second year, looking for some energy here. Okay. Second year, fine. Nice. Okay, like so, some people are like more in third years are there, second years are also here. Nice.
Mhm. And some of these people are joining through phone, like they are unable to scan and join.
Okay,
हाँ,
you can if we have a Teams
नहीं
chat, you
बोली
can write it there as well. Okay, there's no
बोली
issues
नहीं
if you're
बता
able
रहा
to see
था
the screen, and you can write it in the Teams chats as well. Okay, and yeah, nice.
सफाई करना है जरा बोली करता हूँ
Guys, can you please mute yourself?
And one more thing, guys, we have a
आप लोग आओ ना
questionnaire
देख लो
also. Like we have a questionnaire area.
अरे आके देख लो क्या
So if you're
Yeah.
not feeling comfortable coming forward asking question directly, you can anonymously ask questions there. I will be taking it up at the end of the session. So don't worry, your questions will not go around. When sir, you can just give anonymous your questions. So there's a questionnaire also linked if Q&A, so you can ask questions, whatever questions you have any. Okay, okay, let's move forward. Okay, I'll move to the next tab. It's already presented. I'll just go to the next tab. Next. Okay, what's the first thing that comes to the mind when you hear artificial intelligence? You can add words, you can write sentences. It's up to you. Just curious, like want to know what do you think about artificial intelligence? Automatic, yeah, great. Destruction of
Vision
future.
of future.
Okay, Chitty the robot. Yeah.
Robocity.
Machine thinking like humans. Okay. Fast answers. Great. Danger. Okay. I love that you added an emoji to it. Easier jobs. Nice.
There
High.
is a message from chat also, like infinite intelligence
Okay.
change from the chat.
Nice. Nice. I'm actually looking at this. Like I'm. If I go to the start with other tab, you can read it out for me. I'm happy to listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinite intelligence. That's also crazy. That's also nice.
And
Hmm.
change.
Power decline. Free homework. Nice. Eliminator or jobs. Okay.
Danger, high end, voice is low.
That's nice. That's okay. Just a question out of curiosity. Like, hmm. So, where are you from? Like, are you from Hyderabad or you are from some place in Hyderabad? You can write about that too. I would love to know where are you from right now. Are you at your home or you are still in college or you are sitting on a place with your friends outside? Okay, there's someone from Delhi. Nice. Yeah, from people from hostel. Crazy. Nice. Okay, Hyderabad. Yeah. Kakinada. Nice.
Some are from hostel, West Bengal, that cases.
Okay, there are people from West Bengal as well.
As
Yeah.
yes, Asana Soul and
Nice.
Kadapa, Maharashtra. The charts that I'm reading from the chat box, you can
Nice.
see on the screen the charts that you are getting in the screen. Guntur, Karnool,
Interesting. Okay. Let's
Vizag.
move forward. We'll have a lot of awesome things coming up. Let's move forward. Okay. So the next question is which AI powered tool or app do you use the most? Okay, Chat GPT. Nice. Chat GPT. Chat. Okay. Grok. Some people are using Grok and DeepSeek. Nice.
Blackbox, Canva, ChatGPT. The responses from the chat, Meta,
Yes. Nice.
Gemini,
Cloud perplexity. Okay, black box also nice. You guys
Copilot,
are already using a lot of awesome things. Copilot,
yeah,
Copilot, Cursor AI. Yeah, nice. Snapchat
Volt.ai,
AI. Nice.
Microsoft Copilot,
So Copilot crazy. Nice, nice. Cursor AI. Okay, Bolt. Nice. Okay, Lovable is also there.
Lovable.ai,
Hmm.
ChatGPT, mostly.
Cool, cool, cool.
Mm.
Okay. So thanks for this response, guys. Now we'll start our session. Okay, let's start our session now. Thank you for okay. Yeah, okay. I'll just keep the session open so that your questions are getting recorded. If you don't want to ask in the session during the session something, you can ask question here. Otherwise, chats is always open. You can ask questions there. Now let's dive into our session for today. So the topic for today is getting opportunities in the world of AI. So we have seen like the AI is growing so vastly, and so many things, new things are coming up. Be it in the text, be it the image, be it audio, videos, right? Even making your projects. So we'll discuss one after the other. So there are some thumb rules when you come to understand how to use AI. I'll just this will look a bit like reading a lot of things, but I'll explain you as we go forward. So there are some things you need to keep in mind when it comes to AI, right? The first thing is that you need to start by becoming a user of AI, not necessarily a technical builder. What I basically mean is you saw that we discussed in the starting of this, right? Okay, what are the tools you're using? So we saw many tools we saw people are using. ChatGPT is the most famous, but there are other tools that I came to know. Today I came to know that there's something called Snapchat AI. I didn't know that there was something called Snapchat AI. So yeah, kudos to that. So there's so many tools in the market. So what AI tools should you use is something I will answer in this few minutes right now. Okay. But in the overall format, what you will see is uh, right now there's the emergent of tools are there and how to make it better. Okay, the second question is like the world will see a rise of demand for AI operators and AI builders. So what are these AI operators and builders are? Operator is basically, if you see that people are nowadays, they're asking AI, hey, AI, can you book a cab for me? And it goes to the app and search for the cab app and books cab for you or books a movie ticket for IPL, right? So those are operators. Builders are basically if you make a full-fledged projects, those are called builders. We'll come to it, like how does it actually work and how can you start building, right? So moving forward, AI is not a cheap replacement. So many people, as you saw, we saw they're like they're thinking it's a destructor or it's going to take over the world or Terminator. It's not going to be that so. So there's a famous saying that goes in. It's called GIGO. GIGO stands for like garbage in is equal to garbage out. The type of information you give to the model, the type of output you get. It's true for any type of AI use cases out there in the market. So why is called a cheap, not a cheap replacement? Because you have to train it on a lot of data set. Like you have to make it in order to make it smart and professional. You have to give good quality prompts. Prompts as in like the words that we write it to Chat GPT or Claude or we saw Perplexity, right? We have to give a good quality words to it. And then last but not the least, you see, whatever AI you are seeing right now is the latest worst. Why I call it the latest worst is there's so many innovations still going on, right? Last year we know that ChatGPT was not good at maths, right? Whenever we try to give it, it used to show some random results. But right now we have something called reasoning model, which with the help of which we can get better mathematical answers. So it's still learning. But what we are going to do is you're going to find out which are the best tools in the market and leverage it for our own growth. So just think that everyone is currently zero, starting from zero. Whatever you know, whatever the industries know, is almost the same because they're also exploring the opportunities, correct, that are there in the market. So, but if you start right now exploring what are the AI tools present in the market, within the next 5 years, you will be able to be a good headshot and will making projects with AI. And there are a lot of different type of things you need to build in yourself. So there's a saying goes around like, which is the hottest language in the world? So yeah, like you can write in the comments. What do you think? What is the which is the hottest language in the world? So let's come back to be a bit interactive again. What do you think? What is the hottest language in the world? Ravi, can you read it out like if you are able to see because I am not. I'm actually sharing the full screen. I'm not able to see the chat box.
Yeah, people are spamming Java, Java, C, English,
Java, see?
Python,
Okay. So I'll tell you.
Python,
Got it.
English.
English, right? So whoever said English, kudos to them. So till 2024, English was the hottest language in the world. But now what happens is multilinguistic models are coming up, right? That train on multiple languages. So basically, you'll see that they're trained on by Chinese are training it on Chinese data, and then we have people training it on Japanese. In India, there's a lot of hypes going around that will train on Sanskrit data. It is more stable language. But if you said English, yeah, that's kudos to you. So understanding how to write better phrases, how to make the machine learn, like ask accurate questions, that comes through practice and using AI tools. So there's a patterns to it. So I say it like you need to have some good healthy great taste and pattern findings abilities. You need to find patterns. For example, if you're in college, right, you see that you're part of one club or chapter, you see how they're working out, and then you go to another event in Hyderabad, you see how they're conducting the events. You can understand the patterns. Okay, this is how we arrange for speakers. Okay, this is how we present our PPTs. Okay, this is how people are required in a particular group to sustain the communities, right? That's pattern. You recognize this pattern, and if you recognize this, it makes your writing the prompt much more easier. So let's move forward. So there are some steps to think AI. When it comes to thinking of AI, there's particular steps are there. So what I would say is you go around and check what are the different problem statements that are there in the world. So you can take part in a hackathon. If you're not able to find it yourself to take part in hackathon, there's something called YC Combinator is there, which are famous for startups, right? Startups, you can check there, okay, what are the startups are trying to solve the problems. So you jot down the problems. Once you jot down the problems, you know what are the problems there in the market. Now you check what are the AI tools available to solve this problem. So there is a website called anything.ai. You can find all AI tools over there. You can write any domain, you will find what are the AI tools floating in the market. There's something called foundation.ai. These platforms are full of AI tools. You can find like which are the AI tools present in the market, and from a problem statement, you can link to it. Okay, this is my problem statement. This is the AI tool I found. And then you find that, okay, can I use it to solve my current problem? After you find that it suits your current problem, you go deeper into it. So what I generally believe is the problem is so many AI tools are coming, but who are the best we don't know. Because when it comes to marketing, right, they will buzz everything that's there. But there are some use cases that will support your problem statement. Everything won't support. But you need to in between, in the intervals of time, you need to check the what are the new tools, what are the new set of prompts available in the market. So here the steps are. The first is like in your day-to-day activity, see the problems you're facing, see the problems where you're spending a lot of time. For example, there's a chapter you're reading, right, for the college, and you find that it's quite tedious and not able to understand. You can pass it to chat gpt, that particular page, and ask it like, hey, summarize this for me, or ask me questions from this, I am ready for the exam. So it will give you the probable most important questions, so you know now how to think what are the possible questions that can come in the exam, right? Or like if you remember back in my days in college, we didn't have chat gpt, right? What we used to do is we used to ask our seniors like, hey, do you have the previous year's question paper? So from there we used to get the idea, okay, important questions could be asked. Similarly, you can use AI to learn, upskill your learning. We'll come to that, how to use AI and how to scale your data structure as we go forward. But for the timing, you can, this is one of the use cases I am giving, that from day-to-day activity, you find out where you are consuming a lot of time and how to decrease it using AI. Second, you check in the market, any tool is there. As I told you, some of the websites, you can go and check it. Third is do small experiments in daily use cases and build intuitions. What I mean by build intuitions, to find out is it really possible to narrow down your work. So that's called intuition. So this is called AI thinking. When you do some intuition, taking those problem statements, you're actually doing some, okay, what are the possible ways to think? I'll tell you another market scenario you can analyze. Suppose two companies are there. Okay. Now you want to know which is performing better. So what you can do, there's something called sales report that comes out every year for every company. It's publicly available. For example, I say Haldiram versus suppose we let's go for Pista House. Okay, Pista House versus Haldiram. So their sales report is online. It's available. You can push it GPT and ask, hey, which company is making more sales? And from there you can analyze, okay, in which company your more customers are coming. So like that, you can also go and tell them, I have a solution for you. I'm making a comparison tool which compares your company with other companies' sales and tells you how you can make better. So that's a solution. Another daily life solution I can give is, you must be going to the barber shop, right? You must be going to the food shop near your house, right? And they don't have a proper website, or some cafe, small cafe near your house, which you love to go hear music, yeah, and sit around with your friends. So they don't have a website, they don't have a social presence. You can tell them, hey, we can bring a social presence for you, and you can make a website for them, or you can make their Google connection to the Google Maps, right? And you can charge them minimum fees of like 500 or something, and they'll be happy to be your customers, and that will become a testimonial going forward. So these are some AI use cases that are very handy, and people are not thinking about it. You can just make small testimonials for yourself using that. Yeah. And with the time interval, I would say start exploring other tools as well. Don't like every day new tool comes up, right? Don't invest every day in new tool. Get into one tool, explore it deeply, write some things that you are finding is issues in particular one tool and another tool, compare it. For example, when I am researching, I found out that ChatGPT has a very neutral tone. If you see, it's very neutral when you speak to ChatGPT. It will never get too excited, or it will try to be, too much into like scolding you or something. It's very neutral. Whereas if you go to Grok, Grok is have something called UGI. It's called user generated interface data. So it's the data is trained on your this thing like Twitter and
Yeah.
Reddit data sets, because of which it will give you a more like a colloquial way of answering. Its way of answering and presenting is completely different. So therefore, I would say that there's a lot of different use cases are there. We'll discuss one by one as we go forward. So some of the things that I found very useful for me and I use in day-to-day activity, I'll list it down now. So sorry. So there's a list of recommendation tools that I go for when it comes to various use cases. For example, image generation. If you do a YouTube thumbnail design or logo design, ChatGPT 4o and ideogram are really useful. And suppose you don't have the access to ChatGPT 4o because a paid version, so there are two things you can do. One is you can install Bing AI, and there's a toggle button. If you toggle it, you'll get ChatGPT 4, and you can use. I'm so sorry. You can use it for your solutioning, like making images and thumbnails. Apart from that, ideogram is really good. And second is they have actually started a program, Perplexity and all, where they give free access to the students who are in colleges. So you can go for the Perplexity Pro program and mention about this college email ID, and they will give you a student voucher. So for 1 year or 2 years, Perplexity is completely free, the image version for you. And that's indirectly using DALI 3, which is basically what ChatGPT 4o is actually using, right? The same thing. So you're going to get access to that too. Okay, the second, when it comes to research, I found out that Google Gemini performs way better than ChatGPT or Perplexity. The reason being, the ChatGPT, when I was comparing, ChatGPT goes to around 16 to 20 research papers or websites to give you the detailed insights. Whereas when it comes to Perplexity, it goes up to like 50 or 50 to 60 researches. But Google Gemini, the recent one, you can use something called Google AI Studio is there. You're very for free. You get the Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is recently launched by Google, and there it goes up to 100 to 150 websites. That's more robust research, right? With citations and all. So that's why I suggest Google Gemini. And but Perplexity is also good enough. So you can toggle between the two, and the quality of the data you find, you can go for it. But I would suggest Google Gemini. Third is like when you have this, suppose we are having this meeting right now, like we want to have some recordings on the like meeting notes or something like that. I would recommend like going for Loom is very handy when it when calls like meeting summary of the meetings and all. It's very useful in that case. Third comes GPT bots. What are GPT bots? Suppose you want your model to answer in a particular fashion. Suppose you are making a bot for suppose your work, let's think of scenario. You're working as a HR for a particular company. Now you have to write an email who are getting hired on the basis of their pay scale, on the basis of their qualifications for the next round and all, right? So you can make a prompt template, and on that you can mention like, hey, whenever I write we write to this particular person, this structure has to be followed. First you say like good morning or good afternoon depending on the daytime. Then you say that, hey, hope you're doing well. And then third, you come across and give the information about what the person is selected or not. Fourth, you give the next action, call to action, like what are the next steps the person should take. If it's selected, then he will get a resume his offer letter soon, or he will be getting to call back in the second round. Or if it's not selected, he will be said thank you for being with us, right? So all those you can be curated using a something called custom GPT bot. Okay, so GPT bots are very handy in chat GPT. And then going forwards, AI avatars you must have seen in YouTube channel and everything. Like there are a lot of people are their facial expression is blank, but they're saying some stories and all, right? So the hygiene is very useful in that. Another thing is called synthetic AI is also very useful. You can try out that too. And then something called AI voice. So 11 labs is really useful when it comes to voice generations. Yeah. And apart from that, if you really want to write scripts and you have like a detailed content, in that case, Claude is actually very useful. Like if you want to, so as we discussed previously, right? Chat GPT is good at writing your details, like in-depth detail, but when it comes to emotions, like for example, you're making an announcement or you're trying to make a something like a writing a letter to the HR, or you're suppose you're writing a cold email for a particular job to a particular director and all, that emotion is not very well driven by ChatGPT, but Claude is very good at that. Suppose you're writing a script for your acting class or acting club, yeah, in a college, or you're doing a marketing for a particular brand. In that case, the email writing or the content writing is very well flourished in the case of your Claude compared to others. So I prefer Claude in that case. And going forward for presentations, we have Gamma. So you can just make the whole thing like a beautifully written by the Claude, paste it to Gamma website, and you can get the PPTs made in seconds. And for brainstorming, Grok 3 thinking mode is really good. The reason being, it's actually trained on user data, like how the user think, how the users speak, be it in India or US or any part of the world, how they think, what is the way of analysis of data, what is there people are mainly touching point on, what the people are speaking on the world. So that's why brainstorming is really good with Grok 3 thinking mode. And if you want to have some no coding development platforms, then Lovable is there, Bolt is there, Replit is there. So they all are all same times, and Cursor is also there. You can use that in order to make some websites by not coding, just by prompting. Yeah. And if we want to make end-to-end pipelines, we have something called AI agents, which I'll discuss in a few minutes. So you can use N8N, and then we have something called AI automations. Like if you don't, after making agents, they automatically do the task for you, right? For example, you're on a long trip, you're not seeing your emails, but there's some particular email came inviting you for a particular competition or something. So it will automatically send the user the message that, hey, I'm currently on leave, I'll see this message in this particular amount of days. If I don't reply back or if I don't see this message, free feel to reach out again, right? That is automation, AI automation, that makes can easily do. Another example of this is like, suppose you connected you have a Google form, right? You need to do the analytics. So what we need to do is one needs to like get all the data out of the Google form. Then he has to sit down, make the plots and all, and then do some analysis on top of it, like what type of people joined the session or what was the survey is all about, right? But when you make it with make this, it becomes a no-brainer. When I say no-brainer, is you don't have to think. It will do the analytics on top of it and give you the output, final output. Okay, they are like, you send out this email to around thousands of people, around 300 people actually reply to the survey. Out of this 300 people, 500 people, like 300 people, 150 people are in the support of your survey and 150 are not, and these are the reasons why they're supportive, these are the reasons they're not supportive. So you see, all this is done by AI itself. You didn't have to sting and do that analytics yourself, like why a particular campaign is not working, why something is people are more favorable of. Everything is answered by them. So these are some of the favorable tools in the market. You can try it out. Yeah. And there are tons of YouTube tutorials. Now let's move forward in the interest of time. So we'll understand what is this agents is all about. The reason being, like when it comes to opportunities, as this topic is in this world, so it's not only about like getting over the hype and start using all this. So I'll, as we go forward in college also, in the learning, how can you use better your learning experience, we'll discuss about that too. But I'm just covering the gist of it so that when you go out there on YouTube and all, you can able to understand the concepts they're trying to teach you. So coming to agents first, they are like the first image that you see is from lovable.ai, and or it's all from, sorry, it's from N8N, and the below one is from Make. So the first one you see, we are making some connections, right? Some roadmaps we are making. So we just need to trigger this and put a timer like, hey, every time in this particular day on LinkedIn, you need to go to LinkedIn and make a post for me. So you made a connection, you go to Chat GPT, does the research, find some solution that touches most of the people's heart, right? And from that, you get the proper hashtags and all. It will add the hashtags and make the content and push it to LinkedIn for you. And, or you can add yourself in between as a human in a loop person to verify the data content is correct or not. Sometimes, like some miscommunication can be happening because of your post, right? So you need to verify so that you can add yourself, or if you're really reliable and your prompt is really good enough, you don't want to add yourself. It's a completely pipeline. It will be keep going in the background. Once that, second, you see the example that I was saying, right? You have a Google form, you analyze, like you send it out to suppose you are sending a Google form about a particular restaurant which is recently opened in your locality, right? You send out like, hey, what are the food you guys love to have, what are you like looking for, and what are the things missing in your society. So you ask all these questions. This goes to Google Sheet. From Google Sheet, it analyzes using Chat GPT that what are the problems people are facing, what are the things are there. From there, it curates an email that suits your test, right? And it sends an email to you. So this whole pipeline is done in make.com, right? So I just wanted to give you a flavor. Now let's understand the difference between our traditional AI and what is this agents, why this agent is becoming so famous. So what used to happen in traditional AI is they are not independently able to do the task. They are very good at understanding, like they're very good at answering you. When, like, suppose you ask ChatGPT, "Hey, I am actually the long weekend is coming up. This was like 1st and 2nd of May is their long weekend, and I want to go out in Hyderabad, any nearby cool places, right? Cool because it's pretty hot in May." So you ask ChatGPT, it gives you tons of places. It researches and tells you not tons of places. That's it. It doesn't do the booking for you. It doesn't like go and like how much money will be spent in each location. It doesn't check that. It doesn't check that is the place actually open or closed, right? All this things is not done. It just answers you and stops by there. But when you use something like agent, just think of a person, like someone is actually booking things for you. For example, back in the school days, like childhood days, you remember when we need to do some bookings, the train bookings are not working, IRCTC and others are not working. We used to go and talk to these agents for buses, help in bus booking or help in train booking or flight bookings, right? Back in when you were pretty small, right? So think of this guy, the agent guy, that person is now AI is doing it for us. So basically, you tell AI, hey, I want to visit a doctor, and I have a toothache. Can you search a nearby place and do a booking for me? So it will check on the Google form like dentist near me. It will check all the places on Google. You'll find out the nearest one. Check your budget if you have a budget tag assigned to it, and what timing you are looking for, and does the booking and reply you on the email. Hey, I've done it. So you'll get a reply on the email that the booking is done, and you can just directly go that day. That's the beauty of AI agents. Now, so what are the different forms when it comes to AI agents where we can use it? Why AI agents is becoming so popular? The reason being it understands the broader context of what you want to accomplish. So when you ask about ChatGPT or something, it answers you the question you ask and it stops there. But agents, they're good at going one step forward. If you have used this Gamma 3 model by Google recently launched, what does it do? Is suppose you ask him, hey, explain me data science. When you ask this question, it not only explains you the meaning of data science, it tells you about the applications, the benefits, and also where you can apply in the day-to-day activity. So that's the next step, right? It doesn't only tells you what you want; it goes over the board. So it's something like under commitment. Sorry, yeah, under it will go for like you ask less, but it gives more. That's what we expect from a lot of people, right, in this world. Yeah. So going forward, like it can break down complex tasks into smaller steps. So suppose you want to do something like find an issue or a bug in a particular code, you're not able to think. You can ask AI, like, hey, this is a code base. I'm trying to understand it, but I'm not getting the issue. Could you help me out? So it will say, hey, there is some library or some tool is there which is actually decrypted, which is not working anymore. So this code base is redundant. So the libraries are pretty old. You can't use it right now. So it will give you this information and then it will let you know, okay, you can change it in this particular fashion. So that's real-time analysis it's doing, and also tell you the solution. That's why AI agents are getting powerful. And second, make decisions about the best way to achieve those goals. Yeah, as I told you, like what is the best procedure to achieve those goals, it tells about that. But again, there will be some regulations going forward which help us to stop, like what are the things are allowed, what are not allowed. That's why you see these all concepts are coming up right now, called MCP, model context protocol. Then we have A2A, agent to agent protocols by Google. All these are coming up. So we'll have a lot of rules. Protocols means set of rules. So these are coming up to support us and help us to, the AI doesn't perform something wrong. Like as you said, the Terminator, right? It's not going to take up the jobs, but it might do something massively wrong thing. So we need to safeguard ourselves. It comes under something called responsible AI. So those steps are currently a work in progress as well. Okay. So giving you an overview about the agents, why I consider this in the role of opportunities is, we previously in 2023 or 2024 starting, we had this mindset of like Chat GPT, Gemini, and Claude are there, and they're how they're being used. They have their own versions like Chat GPT 4.0, which is recently going on, Gemini 2.5, which is recently going on, then Sonnet 3.7, which is a really powerful and thinking model. These are in the market, but we are not able to use it previously. Now, what happened? We had some frameworks who said that, okay, we'll help you to connect this with your data sets, like with your problem statement. Suppose someone wants to do a finance analysis on their own data, but they don't want to risk in pushing it to Chat GPT. They want to do it locally in their systems or their environment to protect their data, right? In that case, LangChain, Llama Index, all these different frameworks came into picture who started supporting them. Now they got the support of it. Now they want to make an integrated workflow. What I mean by workflow is basically that can use any of these AI models to run a list of tasks defined by you. So suppose you are at home and you don't know what to eat, and you go to your aunt comes and said, "Hey, what do you want to have today as food?" And you don't know. So you go to the fridge, you open the fridge, and you see a lot of food is there. Now you take a picture of the fridge, okay, the whatever items are there on the fridge. You tell ChatGPT or Gemini, any of the model, you set some task. Like first is like identify the food items in my fridge. Second, what are the recipe that can be formed? What I can form out of this easily as an Indian chef? It will tell you the recipe. Third, okay, name this recipe something. So it will name the recipe. You see the three tasks that has been assigned to the Gemini model. So with the image that you took, it extracted three informations. What is there, what can be cooked, and what you can name the whole food item, right? And then you can tell your what to say, your aunt who is okay. Suppose she or he is not willing to read the things. You can also add voice to it. Hey, read this out to my aunt and tell her in suppose Telugu or in Kannada that, hey, could you please like help my aunt to understand whatever you have written over here, so that she can cook it for me, and it will do that for you. That's the agent, so you're just giving a simple prompt, and this whole pipeline is created, which is called workflow. And from here it's actually able to take the task from the image and generate the whole solution. So that's why the year 2025 is called the year of agents, agentic frameworks, because lot of different use cases are coming up. Yeah, cool. And so talking about the future right now, so many of you must have heard of this Manus, right? We have this Manus AI, which is by China again and getting popular. So what they did is basically they take this Claude Sonnet 3.5, and with on top of it they made a tool. Right now, if you ask Manus something, it will generate the agentic pipeline for you, the workflow for you. It will do it for you, right? It will make the whole projects for you. That's the beauty of Manus. Similarly, like suppose you want to write a script, like a good quality script using N88, which we saw right now. So you can ask it once. What it'll do, it will go to Chat GPT. It will make the initial draft, go to Claude and add emotions to it, make it better. Then it will go to Gemini, and over there it will make some visual effects like using images and all, right? So you see the whole structure it's creating for you. You just have to write a prompt and it's creating the structure for you. But writing that prompt needs you to understand patterns, needs you to understand intuitions, right? That comes from practice. Like as you use this more, build some projects yourself, or you saw some YouTube channels which are using. So I'll give you one of the use case that you can also try. Okay. So something called like you pass your image, your photo to the innate N chat workflow, and the next side you get an image of yourself in a LinkedIn profile as a professional LinkedIn profile. You can try it out. There's lot many tools are there like which are making it. You can research about it and try it out. It's a very fabulous use case. You can go and pitch it to the company like, hey, I made a profile on my own profile using this workflow. That's a hot use case going on right now in the market. Yeah. So this is currently in trending the market. There's another one you can check, something called Gen Spark is there, just like Manas. It is trained on Perplexity, though it's not trained on Claude Sonnet 3.5. It trained on Perplexity and makes the whole pipeline. Yeah. Okay. So what are the new things that are coming about? Like I'll just give you a briefing over here on the skill set basis. So the four sections that the world goes around is, and the businesses are going around, are science, engineering, art, and philosophy, right? We have heard, you must have heard of this word called STEM, right? STEM. S stands for science, T stands for technology or technology, E stands for engineering, M stands for maths, right? So the different sectors are there. Like engineering, you have art, you have like philosophy, science, and all that. That's the whole the how the world functions around these all domains. Like there will be some versions, different versions of it, but some or the other they all fall into this. So the better you become at tweaking this and understanding the inner concepts, you are better at like making better solutions. When I said that English is the hottest language, currently it's the hottest language because by now, like all the models are very good at English, and most of the world's the data sets that we touch, like be it Twitter, you go to Twitter or LinkedIn, or be you go to Instagram, most of the people speak in English, right? That's why English is the more dominant. So conversation in English is easy. But going forward in Indic languages also, in India also, we are working on a lot of different startups where we have something like Bharat GPT is there. It's currently making Indic languages more popular. You can and if you have used a I recently saw this video about a boy. He's in what to say, Bangalore, and he doesn't know how to speak Kannada, but the auto wala was charging too much, and he wants to reduce the price, and he doesn't know Kannada. So he opened ChatGPT and told ChatGPT, "Hey, speak to him as my elder brother, and I'm a local student of Bangalore. I'm going home in this particular route everyday basis, and the fare minimum price is 100, and he's charging me around 160 or something. Can you lower it and convince him, negotiate with him, and speak in Kannada politely?" So he spoke that much in prompt, and he gave it to the Autowala, and he started the Kannada, the chat GPT started to speak in Kannada to the person, and at a point he convinced at 120. But that's, you see, he the chat GPT was able to convince the Autowala in Kannada language, correct? So there's a lot of use cases are there. Like I tried to teach my grandmother, she speaks in Odia, by the way. So her in how to speak in Hindi, how to read my mom's name on the phone number, or my grandfather's name or my father's name on the phone number when the call comes in small syllables. So ChatGPT helped her to learn that as well, right? So and recently Google has also released this Google Studio, AI Studio, where you can stream your screen, and from there you can ask like, "Hey, Gemini, are you able to see my screen?" "Yes, there's a issue. I'm seeing this particular line of code, line 20 or line 30. Can you just summarize what could be the issue and how to solve it, or can you give me the solution to it?" It does for you that. So you can start leveraging those things for learning purposes as well, and we'll go forward and understand the college aspect. But understand this, like a lot of people are talking about this, like a lot of things are going around. So you need to build your thinking pattern. When how it comes? Through practice. When you start using these tools, you will get stuck at some time. I'll tell you some tricks how to learn faster as well as we go forward. But overall types, what you need to do is try to engage yourself more in this. Also, you go out when, and the best part is you're in Hyderabad. Many of you, as I know, are in Hyderabad in this call. we have this regular catch-ups and sessions all around in Hyderabad on weekends, right? So many tech clubs are there and chapters are there. If you're other parts of the world as well, like India as well, you will also have such similar type of events going on. We have something called a meetup. Meetup app is there. You can install this and you will find a lot of opportunities going in your city as well. Or there's something called Eventbrite that is also there. You can check out there as well. Okay. So coming to engineering, art, or philosophy and science. So these are the different domains, but the job market is not actually shrinking out. It's actually, we have different type of job roles will be coming in as we go forward. So just there's a mindset people have that jobs are going down, world is finishing. It's not that it is. If I'll just give you one more example on that before we jump to the college part. Yeah, think about a situation when we are shooting films. Yeah, back in 2020, back in 20s, back in 1990s, the cameraman has to climb lot of trees, right? Or they have to climb towers, or they even have to go very far to in order to shoot the larger scheme of things, like, right, the larger spectrum of things they have to shoot. But now what happened is their drones have come up. The helicopters are down. Like before, they have to pay a lot to helicopters and all. Drones came up, and now drone shootings are all around the place. Be it wedding, be it like your F1, be it your Red Bull that you see Red Bull videos online, right? All shot by drones now. Humans, and there's curiously that in Hyderabad we have something called drone certifications. I personally know my friends who are doing drone certifications. So see, if one thing goes down, other opportunities also comes in. So you need to identify those opportunities. That matters a lot, and that happens when you go out, interact with more people, come to such sessions, right, and try out things at your end. Okay. So another thing I want to mention about, there's something called AI augmentation is also there. There's something called AI automations, which we discussed, right? The pipelines, like be it like your make.com or is n8n. Similarly, we have something called AI augmentations. What is this AI augmentation? Is basically they'll try to mimic human behavior while solving the problems. So this is another research paper which is from the highest pay careers on 2025 job report. It has been seen, and this the below one also by the Claude website, primary website, their blogs and all. I found like 75% of the AI applications are designed to augment human capabilities. They're trying to mimic you, and when they're trying to mimic, they try to understand what are the things humans are consuming time on a lot. What are the things that humans are, like not able to give out solution in fresh mindset. So they are, and the great thing about is that you get another perception. Suppose you are trying to do your homework in particular way, what is the other alternative that could be possible that humans as a human we miss out, right? So those perceptions AI can help. So that's why it's called human AI augmentation is also there. So previously, you'll see like back in 2020, 33%, if you see this blue stack lines, so the blue one represents human involvement. The lighter shade of blue represents the your technology involvement, and on the top the 33% represents the AI involvement. So you see now in since 2020 2000 there was too much of involvement was there of humans, but as we go forward we saw that humans involvement is there, but more on the prompting side, more on the prompting and making the machines understand. But again, when they're prompting also they should know what's they're prompting, right? That's also very important. So understanding the concepts is pretty important. People are saying that jobs are going out. No, jobs aren't going out, because these machines, when we come to like coding, we need to code on different things and then we need to integrate them, right? Suppose there's a front end developer, there's a back end developer, and there's someone in between connecting the dots between the front end and back end so that we have entire application, right? Front end can be coded with AI, back end can be connected with AI, but the connections, that binding, there a lot of failures happens. So one needs to understand how to bind it. So your concepts needs to be clear in order to become better than others, right? So how does that happen? We do it like, that's why we need to go to college, we need to learn the concepts. Even though like we are like this job market where we see that AI augmentation are coming, but you won't be able to solve the issues if something goes wrong, right? Because prompting is not the end game. So you might be seeing this, like people are getting so much paid for prompt engineers and all. They're not only prompt engineers, they also know the back end coding, how it actually works. Because if something doesn't work, they need to solve it. So the world works when it comes to like your industry based, right? We need to have something like which sustains a lot, like sustains for the long run. Like we need to have a proper basing. Otherwise, people will not able to produce the code again and again, or people will not be able to use and do it for different use cases. For example, if I run chat gpt once, so what output I get, then if you run chat gpt once, you'll get a different output, right? That's common because it's a generative model. It generates for you. It's a, like a writer. It generates output for you. It's not trained to give the same answer. Like 1 plus 1 is always 2, be it any calculator all across the world, any languages. But chat gpt is any your model, the answer keeps differing. So if we keep having these differing answers, then it's not sustainable. So we have something called production ready in industries. So it's not production ready yet, right? So because of that, people who are joining jobs, they're required to know the skills. Even though chat gpt and all are helping in leveraging some of the efforts, for example, understand like the code they need to search on stack overflow or google it, that's getting decreased. But internal functionality, how a particular thing used to work, that still sustains in the world. So that's why if you think jobs market are going down, that's not true, because AI is not sustaining right now. So some of the creative and catchy work like making a pipeline using that make and all looks fancy, but it's not job market ready yet. It looks good for putting articles and making that I know pipeline and all, but it's not market ready yet. Like a lot of automations are there, a lot of answering, understanding still involved in there. Yeah. Okay, we're getting back to college now. We had a lot of understanding what's in the opportunities, what you can start learning and all. But as a student, how can you improvise your learning? We'll speak about that, and we'll speak about where to find jobs and how to apply for jobs with the help of AI as well. Yeah. So the one of the questions that I get a lot of time when I was back in college, which language to pick up? Is it Java? Is it C++? Or is it Python to study? Which languages do you guys do? Like, just curious. Like, are you doing Python more or Java or C++? Ravi, can you read it out? Like, if someone is writing up, like, because I'm not, I can't see the screen.
Yeah. Java, C, Python, and C++. Python.
Okay.
Guys are spamming
Nice, nice. Okay. So
Java,
this is a
Python.
very big confusion among students, like which language to go for, like when it comes to learning, like when they start their tech stack. So coming, will slowly understand like which is the best and why, which is, I'll not say best, like this will be a very hypothetical situation, but what I feel is like depends on like what you're looking for. Yeah. So when it comes to like you're looking into a job market, like into the AI jobs and all, Python is obviously better. But again, if you're more into a cracking jobs and placements, there we see people prefer like more C++ and Java. So there are two things. If you're into AI field, then Python is great. Making your projects, making your what to say hackathon projects or making blogs, understanding concepts is great. But when it comes to placements, there are two things. Either Java or C++ goes handy. But again, there are two things when it comes to Java and C++. First, Java is when you code in Java, you will see a lot of dot operator, like a lot of dots you have to give. Like suppose you did a collection program, like you're using collection, import collections, right? Suppose you're making code about this hash map, using hash map or dictionary based coding you do. So there are a lot of dots you have to give, like import Java dot system dot. I can't recall right now. I haven't touched with Java for quite some time, but the syntax are longer. I used to forget the syntax back in my college. It was my experience. But the good thing about Java is we don't have something called dot operator. So dot operator or your star operator is used for the location based. Like suppose you want to play with a reference where the data is saved. Suppose there's something called int I is equal to 50. Okay, and just take one small code, int I is equal to 50. Now I is equal to 50, we know I is storing the value 50. Now there's something called I star and I, and like ampersand I is there. This refer to the location of I. That location of I, you can also play with the location, like where the I is saved, how the I is saved. You can play with that. So for that, C++ is very good if you're into that. When coming to your competitive coding, you want to play with the location and all, and your dot operators, then C++ is good. And if you want to avoid that and you want to just, you're fine with long range of code, then Java is also good. So it depends on what your use case is. And again, C++ is faster than your Java. Okay, and in a lot of cases, it has been also seen that Java is also faster than C++. Okay, depends on the constraints, how many loops you have, and everything. We'll go in deeper. But again, like when it comes to C++, if I don't know how many of you know this, your Python is actually written on top of C++. So all the code of Python that you see internally, it's calling C++. C++ and C, it has two parts, C and C++. C is way faster than C++, and Python is written on top of C++. So you can understand like how fast the language is. You see a lot of competitive coders are using this std.io, right? And they're writing the code in C or C++. This way faster because it's all computer driven program. And if you're into this hardware based coding and all, then C sharp is also there, right? So they're very good when you're integrating with the internals of the computer, like suppose Linux based program and all. C sharp, C++, C is really good. If you're into security, you want to learn a lot about security, Java is really good. And if you want to do some analytics work, Python is really good. Yeah. So depends on the use case. That it depends. But for competitive programmings, which we call in CP, where we learn from HackerRank, Lead Code, also from your Hacker Earth, right? So for that, mostly the answers or the codes you'll say fine. More than 50% of the people are always vouching upon Java and C++, and there's some crazily intelligent people out there who are doing JavaScript as well. I don't know how they code in JavaScript, but that's those people are also there. The people who code Java use JavaScript as the competitive coding language. Okay, moving forward, you must have seen if you're in the first, as we see that most of the students are in second year, third year, you must have heard of this concept like big O, sigma O, theta O, right? You might get confused at will, like what is this n factorial to the power x and all this, how the time complexity works, right? So what I would suggest is whenever you read a problem statement, be it any platform you're using, like CodeChef or Lead Code or Code Forces, right? That time there's something called constraints are there. When you see the constraints, you'll come to know like within what boundaries I have to solve this problem. So suppose how I generally used to do back in my college when it comes to this is I used to see the problem statement. I didn't used to directly start writing the code or something. I used to take a pen, paper, and try to write my understanding the figurative manner or what are the variables are there. Take a small example, what example they have given, try to break it down and understand the process. If I'm not able to make it like within next 20 to 25 minutes, that's max. Be like I would say that start with simple problems, then medium, then high, but target yourself. That don't give what is a plethora of time or infinite time to yourself. Just give some basic time like 15 20 to 25 minutes. The reason being, when you go for these placements, they will not give you infinite time to solve a problem, right? There's some time limit is there to solve a particular problem. So invest in your learning. Like initially you can start giving yourself around 40 minutes, that's the max. Then we have something called submission is there, and there's something called editorials are there in the website, editorials. So these editorials will help you to understand how the other people think about the problem. So that will also give the solution, but also build your thinking. If the solution you're still not able to get and you have still doubts, I would say take the question, post it to chat gpt and tell it to explain you as if you're a 5-year-old kid. When you do that, what happens is it actually takes the information from the question and breaks down to you as a kid. Like it can take examples on toys, chocolates, dolls, cars, etc., and explain you as a child of 5-year-old or 10-year-old, right? And that will help you to build your concepts. And whenever you learn anything in the college, any class, any subject you have taken, any courses, when you come back from the class or something, go to ChatGPT, place that question, like go to ChatGPT and ask this: how is this relevant in the current market scenario? Like in the industries, how is this important? Like there is a advanced data structure and algorithm question is there something called AVL trees, but people we learn about it, we go for this competitive coding and all, but we generally don't understand what is the use case. Why are we learning this? Like, okay, this problem can be solved using this. It is a very top-notch data structure and algorithm, what to say, pattern, yeah. But how to use it? So when that question comes, you can Google it. So it is internally used in your when you chat on Instagram. The extra lines that comes in, like that supporting the reply chats, AVL trees use over there. So like this, it'll create your intuition. Okay, what you are learning is relevant to my current scenario. So this will give you more pleasure to learn as well. Yeah. Moving forward, so when it comes to data structure and algorithm, okay, this thing I had taken from Geeks for Geeks, one of my favorite place back when I was in college. So there are two parts. One is data structures, one is the algorithms. The data structures are mostly like the components that are used to make the algorithms. For example, you must have heard about this for example this let's take a very simple example, binary search, okay, where every time we open the middle of the like suppose there's a particular suppose, yeah, let's take the example of dictionary, right? Suppose you want to search for a word called twilight, okay, you want to search for the word twilight. Now if you start searching on the first page, it will take you infinite time, right? But if you open randomly in the middle of the page, suppose you land in the letter P, right? You know that it will be on the right hand side, not on the left hand side of the page, right? The T will be on the left right hand side. So you go to again towards the right and again open some page in the middle, right? Suppose you land up in U, you know it will be on the left hand side. Like that, you reach faster the page, right? So that's a practical example. And suppose you learn about stacks. Why is stack important? Like what is a real life example? Like you open pages on website, right? You go to suppose you go to YouTube, you open a page, but you saw a video, but you remember that, hey, I shouldn't be watching reels or videos right now. I should go back and focus on my learning. So you press the back button. So it's a stack. So first video was there. When you press the back button, you go to the home button, and in between, if you have opened the your learning something, then that page comes into picture. So that's actually a stack, right? It's a stack of data or something like plates. So try to connect things in the real life example. So it will help you to learn. And if you're not able to understand, ask ChatGPT, explain me this concept as if I'm a 5-year-old kid. It will explain the details to you. Yeah. And coming back again, you don't have to do a lot of questions. What some of the people have made this something called there's something called Striver is there. Some YouTubers are there. They already made some plan sets of problems are already there. You can take those problems, practice it out, and then you'll get an overall scenario like what are the questions generally asked. Because many of times I've seen people what they do, they go to only one particular type of problem like array or something, and they're just stuck there. They're not going forward learning stack, linked list, queue and all. They're just doing arrays and that's it. And I know array has a different type of learning, like for example searching, sorting, your bitwise operator, mathematical learning can be done in array. But again, you need to grow in other field as well, right? So what I would say is there's a lot of sheets this YouTubers have created. You can find like something called Love Bubber is there, the Striver is there. They already have that. You can use that in order to make your plan, because they have links as well where to go and find the problem and how to solve it. You, as I told you, how to solve it. Like you try it yourself with pen and paper first before going there, and then you take the help of ChatGPT to build the concepts. Right. Once the build the concept is done and you know how it works, make small notes about yourself. Like, hey, I learned this thing from this particular example. This will help you to create the intuitions, right? That we talk about in the starting. Now, some of the best practices like that I used to follow back in coding. The reason I'm speaking about this coding when it comes to opportunities is, although this session is about AI opportunities, I'm coding opportunity. I'm speaking because one thing is when you start with a job life, like when you go to this internships and placements, as a guy from colleges and all, they'll be looking for whether you know coding or not. Like that's one aspect, because when see the word B Tech in your thing, Bachelor of Technology, they'll at least they will have this intuition, you know something about coding, right? So when you know, understand the background, if you ask questions or to a understanding and learning with AI, this will increase your chances of contribution as well. So here there's something called tutorial hell. So what is this tutorial hell? Back in my college, I used to fall a lot into it. So basically, tutorial hell means um, one goes to learning and keeps learning but not contributing. What I mean by that, suppose back in my college I didn't have chat gpt, but I was very curious about AI. So I clicked on this Andrew Ng's Coursera course is there. I clicked on that, I saw the material, I liked it a lot, I was going through it. Then my friend said, hey, in Udemy we have something called A to Z machine learning is there. Oh, is it? After doing that, I jumped to there. I did the machine learning there. In between, I heard this Udacity scholarship came up, right? So I was like, okay, hey, let me jump into that. So you see, I was jumping from learning one thing to other, but there's no practical use case I'm doing. So what I mean by that, you make projects as well. So once you learn something, be it data structure algorithm, be it like Python, you are doing generative AI, anything, you start make a project with it. If you are not able to think how to make project, go follow some YouTuber like who is giving the tutorial on YouTube. Start following them and what they're doing, mimic it, make it yourself. Just like AI augmentation, you mimic yourself. Those skills, that mindset, does follow that. Once you do that, now you think like how can you make it better? What he's done 1.0, you make it 2.0 version, like the second version. Like what else I can add to it, or what are the things that are missing here can be made better. Think in that way. Or you write a blog about it. Okay, I learned this from Udemy, I learned this from YouTube, and these are my learnings were today. Or something like today you're learning from here, right? What are you learning from here? You start to make a blog, like make a LinkedIn post about it. I learned these all things. What will happen when you write it down, right? So this will give a structural thinking to you. Okay, these are the things I have learned. How to represent yourself more structured manner, that comes into picture when you start writing it up. Yeah. So everyone doesn't have a clear goal in life, right? But when you try out things, you find ways what are you good at and what are you not good at, right? So I would say that when you go around, as I said, in Hyderabad or any other locations, we have so many opportunities. People go around, interact with each other and all, but start also contributing, like making some projects, coming up with ideas, or making some type of like write a blog post if you learn something from some course. This will show accountability. There's also like you can post put it in your resume in your job, right? Hey, I have also written blogs. This is my medium blogs where I'm contributing to society with whatever I've learned till date. So this will also put a great impression about you. Yeah. Okay. And sometimes you feel like leaving it out, right? You will not feel like what to say, I'm not feeling well, this is not going anywhere. In that case, what I would suggest is make groups. Don't always be alone. Make groups. Like you have so many friends in colleges, right? You have some like-minded friends who will be there. Make a group with each other. Then you guys sit down together and try out things. What will happen, suppose you learn something and the other person learned something else, you can share those learning with each other. This will increase your friendship, also increase your learning, and everyone will be growing. It will bring a positive environment around you. And with this group also you can go for hackathons, right? You can write a research paper with the professor and all. This will add extra feathers to your hat, right? Okay. So this is my personal belief when it comes to learning. Okay, very very much my personal belief. Be it going to gym, okay, making that consistency, or the one that you mentioned about 365 days challenge. Yeah. So I believe in taking challenges myself. So first of all, initially we are not knowing things. We'll be spending a lot of time scrolling internet, and I scroll internet. It's completely fine. Yeah. But what needs to be changed is make small commitments. Like you can like make a Twitter post about a 21 days challenge. You don't have a 100 days or a 365 days challenge, something like that. Make yourself, you can write a diary or you can write to your parents or your friend, anyone, that I have this 21 days challenge. Every day I will write to you what are the good things I did today. You can take a small challenge about yourself. Yeah. And first day you can like, hey, today I learned about arrays, or today I learned about this particular skill of AI, and I try to implement this, I found these bugs. It's completely fine. And the best thing about this is like initially when you're not even thinking about doing it. The 1 month you will see the difference in yourself. Like, what are the thing I have? If you look back and see, like, in last 1 month, what are the things I was able to achieve just by taking this challenge on myself? And so you can try out. The first is ignorant, like everyone is. I was also ignorant. I am still ignorant, I'll say. So you'll be ignorant. Then you start to be building, making the culture. Like, you start learning. Okay, these are the things that has to be improved. These are the things I can perform. And then this gap will be knowledge gap will be there. And what will happen at a particular point, you will start to learn know much more than a very small amount of data. So what I mean by that is, like, when you try to learn it from different places, right? You'll get to learn the flavor. You'll be able to find the patterns. When you this pattern recognition you are able to do, you're able to apply it in different fields of your life as well. This has happened with me. I've tried it out. So from personal experience, I'm saying, like, I was in my college, and my one of my teams were working on this event management. And then this principle I took and took it my conducting an event in Hyderabad, and then I took this principle, I conducted an event in office. So you see, all interlinked is there, right? So this brings your pattern thinking. This pattern thinking helps you to learn and build things with AI as well. You'll easily able to find the flaws. Yeah. Then comes to code. When it comes to coding, there's some note taking techniques are there. Like, first you see, like, when it comes to coding, like, you will find a lot of things on the internet, like YouTube articles, website, lot of places to code. So what I say is, when you start learning, what you learn today, you start dot it down. What will happen is, 1 month from today, when you come back to the same notebook and check, okay, what all I learned, you'll have a self, what to say, uh, what to say, you'll get a self achievement type of feeling. So you can go and treat yourself with an ice cream, because you have been learning this much, and this much you have been able to grasp in all this while. You can start storing things as something called GitHub, right? You can put your old code over there. And if you don't know, always you can ask Chat GPT. We know we use Chat GPT to ask a lot of different questions. Even in US, it has been found that 66% use Chat GPT for as a therapist. In India, also people use it for therapy, right? So
Yeah.
you can also use Chat GPT to understand this concept, like how to code. What are the steps? Like, first you build the logic in pen and paper, then you write a pseudo code, and this will help you to, in the long term, to build your concepts. So once you use this technique, this can be used in different aspects of life. Like, if you go to gym, like, you can track, okay, today I went on treadmill for 10 minutes. Okay, tomorrow, when I look back, okay, 10 minutes I was. And you'll see that the amount of the breath out issue you had, you will not have in the long term, because they will get used to it, right? So there are some of the notes that I generally suggest out. And again, I'm just brushing it up again, not taking it very deep. So take 45 minutes to analyze, like making your code, like understanding the concepts and all, and then 15 minutes to do the actual coding. Yeah. So this is a very good popular quote by Abraham Lincoln, that if I had 1 hour to chop a tree, I would take 45 minutes to sharpen my axe. What does it exactly mean is, he would spend more time on analyzing the problem, finding the clarity, what he's trying to solve, than to actually go and do the task, right? This will actually, this time, 45 minutes, as you go repeatedly in your process, like consistency, you do it like multiple times, you'll get easier. This month, this won't take 45, it will go down to 15 or 20 max, right? So that's the beauty of it. And we again have this Chat GPT. I tell this version, teach me as if I'm a 5-year-old kid. So you can use this prompt. And apart from that, like, since you're in Hyderabad, I would say that one prompt that I generally tell out to people, like, if you're not if comfortable with English, or you are any other part of the India as well, you can say that, explain me this concept in Tenglish. Tenglish is Hindi and English mix again, but explain me this concept in English as if I am from Hyderabad, metropolitan city, or explain me this concept in English, Hindi and English mixed, as if I am from Delhi, right? Other parts of India. So this will make you very much friendly way. It will explain you very friendly way. And nowadays you can also call and talk to ChatGPT directly. You don't even have to write the right things, right? And these are some of the ways to find jobs. We know about LinkedIn, we know about Naukri.com, but there's something called Blind App is there. So Blind App is not that popular because that's the beauty of it. Like LinkedIn is becoming like a link Insta book where people are coming and posting random things nowadays as well, memes as well, right? So Blind App is really good when it comes to like networking with high profile people, and it's like a Reddit for corporate people. So you can also find jobs there. Twitter is an underrated app, I would say. The amount of freeness and amount of technical people you find on Twitter, you'll not find in other, like on LinkedIn as well. People don't reply much on LinkedIn than on Twitter. I have more friends all over the world on X or Twitter than on LinkedIn. Start making connections on uh, Twitter as well. There's something called remotive.com, Angel List, Naukri, and Indeed. We all know about it, but remotive.com is really great when it comes to like internship and abroad and all. You can check their website. It's like work from home. Like you don't have to go to office. And suppose you have made a skill about analytics, data analytics, or data entry. This type of you can start building a portfolio and all in Upwork and Fiverr. Try it out, and you can always do this internship XYZ near me. Suppose there's some small startup is there near your house, you can go and ask them, hey, can I do an internship? Hey, can I do some contribution to your startup? So they will start helping you to learn about sales or marketing or about making code or website or portfolios, right? So you can also get in touch with them as well, and then attend more conferences, so meetups, conferences, events that are going around your city. It doesn't have to be always like offline. If you want to go, you can go online as well. You can find those people, connect on in LinkedIn and Instagram, not Instagram, sorry, Twitter and all, and talk to them about opportunities. Those are there. So you can take a screenshot of this page. So basically these are the some of the tools that I recommend the people who reach out to me. And apart from that, when you connect with anyone on LinkedIn, right, start, don't just send a request, also write a message to them. Hey, I want to connect with you, we met at this event, or I want to connect with you because I love your profile on AI or something like that. So this will, makes a better repo of yours. That gelling is really important, and when you make that open sentences, there's a high chance that that person, you will get a connect with more people, you'll get more opportunities going forward, right? So that opens more your connection, your networks opens up, right? So make sure that happens. Yeah, I know I think I went a bit overboard. Yeah, but happy to take any questions if are there. Yeah, and you can free feel to connect on me on LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn, and these are my details. And I'll just start checking the page if you have any questions. Yeah.